Welcome back, folks. I'm Jake Ellenbogen. Today I'm going to be talking about the unsung hero in the defensive trenches, and that is Michael Hoecht. Before we dive into it, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. Be sure to follow me on all social media at JKBogen, including Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Kick, and Twitch. And in addition to that, just want to let you guys know that today's sponsor is VIA. Need a break from the crowded stores and endless gift lists? Restore your zen and embrace the natural power of hemp this holiday season with VIA. This holiday season, unwind, recharge with VIA. Whether you're enjoying a quiet evening at home or embracing the festive cheer, VIA's premium THC and THC-free gummies will help you find your perfect holiday balance. VIA is well-renowned for their award-winning THC and THC-free gummies and vapes, THCA flower, soothing topicals, and calming drops, all crafted with the highest quality hemp sourced from trusted, independently owned American farms. And the best part, VIA legally ships to nearly all states in the U.S. in discreet packaging directly to your door with a worry-free guaranteed. No medical card required. So if you want to get in and you are 21 or older, be sure to check out the link in my description to VIA's website and use in the description the code JKBogen to get 15% off your purchase. All right, guys. Michael Hoecht. We got to talk about him. Got to talk about him. I'm not letting anybody go untouched or untalked about or covered up this year. I'm just not doing it. And Michael Hoecht is a guy that's being taken for granted. And I mentioned it obviously on DTR. I'm sure a lot of you saw that. But for the people that didn't watch DTR or don't watch DTR, I wanted to make an isolated video about Michael Hoecht because I think he has been superb. I do. He only has 16 pressures on the year. He also has only played 135 pass rushing snaps this year. Okay. He had a season high snap count, 50 against New England, which really kind of jolted this video. Hoyt's been in the 30s all year, 30, getting a little bit over 40, but 50, that is not something he's done this year. He rewarded the Rams with 3 pressures in this game. So, and let's not forget his second blocked kick this year. He's had 2. This guy does not get enough credit. He just doesn't. Whether it's people saying he's unathletic, despite the fact that he would be in the 90th percentile if you took his body composition and all his measurables he had during the COVID off season when he was going into the draft. He would have been 90th percentile for prospects in defensive ends, tight ends, linebackers. I said tight ends. This is what we're talking about. He'd be a 71st percentile athlete at wide receiver. When people say Michael Hoecht's unathletic, it's because they're upset and they're freaking out about him dropping into coverage. And look, sometimes he just gets put in no man's land. There's nowhere for him to go. He wasn't built to drop into coverage. Now, he lost weight. Don't get me wrong. He lost a lot of weight. I think he's down to 267 now. Initially was 310 pounds coming in as a UDFA out of Brown. This is somebody that has gotten better and better and better, more confident, and is one of the best values the Rams have had. He has made a little bit over $5 million from 2021 to 2024, okay? This guy's really good. He really is. And I understand Michael Hoecht. It doesn't sound like Myles Garrett, TJ Watt. Doesn't sound like Aaron Donald or Jared Verse or Braden Fisk. He doesn't have that name that makes him sound like a stud. He is a stud. Absolutely is. The 27-year-old product out of Brown absolutely could have been drafted in that 2020 draft. I'll say it till I'm blue in the face. The reality of the situation is that COVID was happening. And unfortunately, if you were not in a Power 5 conference, teams were not even going to give you a shot. They'd say, all right, well, we'll sign you. They're not going to draft you. No. You didn't play football for the most part because most of those non-Power 5 schools even played. Most of those schools didn't play. And in addition to that, they had virtual pro days. They had to like literally video themselves working out. So let's be honest here. What it really comes down to is that the Rams lucked out because of the whole COVID thing. With the tape he had, with the measurables he had, Michael Hoecht absolutely could have been one of those guys drafted in the 6th or 7th round, no doubt about it. And he wouldn't be a Ram right now. Instead, the Rams got him as a UDFA, and he's been around since 2021. So I'll be honest with you. When it comes to Michael Hoecht, I understand it sounds weird, but I think they need to extend him immediately. Get a deal here, because I feel like every time they have players like a Corey Littleton that emerges, they have a player like a Kello Witherspoon last year that emerges, and they don't try and extend them. And so then you end up, obviously it worked out for Kello because he's playing on another, $1 million deal. But with like Corey Littleton, for instance. Corey Littleton was a player who clearly fit their defense and played at a high level in doing so. He gave you a blitzing fit. He gave you the ability in coverage as a former safety at one point. He gave you a lot. And I feel like had they just extended him, obviously his career didn't end up taking off, when he left the Rams. But I feel like those moments, I want them to extend guys before it gets to the point where their value is maximized, right? It's up here. And I just don't feel like it makes any sense because Michael Hoecht, the more he plays and he's playing a serious role, he's going to be more expensive, and it's not going to be a guarantee that he'll be back. And I keep talking about the cheetah package, and it's such a fun thing watching 3 outside linebackers on the field at the same time. But look at what it's doing. This is huge, guys. They've really found it, and I can't stress that enough. So when I look at Michael Hoecht, and I look at the fact that this guy in his career has 85 pressures, and I look at the fact that this guy in his career has 13 and a half sacks, right, and 2 forced fumbles, and 2 blocked kicks, he just continues to perform. He continues to add value, right? And this isn't somebody that they're asking to be the starter. They're asking him to play obviously he is playing somewhat of a starter role, but it's more of that kind of, Swiss Army knife in a way, because you can line him up as a defensive lineman. You can put him outside linebacker. Whether you believe it or not, he can drop into coverage, just maybe not deep downfield against a tight end, but he can drop into coverage. He's very athletic. Hoecht gives you a lot. He's an absolute stud on special teams. I mean, did I mention... I think multiple times now, he blocked 2 field goals this year, or 2 extra points or whatever. That's huge. He's been huge for the Rams. He really has. And if you don't believe me, okay, just take it from me here. Looking at PFF's total pressures from week 7 to 11, so since the bye week, because that's really what we're focusing on. Since the bye week, they have changed their approach, and they have been more open to having 3 pass rushers, edge defenders on the field at the same time, aka cheetah package. When you look at Jared Verse, the last, those games, that's 3 games, right? In those 3 games, Jared Verse has 16 pressures. He is 4th in the league in the last 3 games from week 7 to 11. Now, if you go and... One second here. If you go and you take that, I felt like that was off anyway. 5 games. So the filter was off. Okay. The last 5 games, Jared Verse has 28 pressures. 28. Right? That's a big deal. So he's 2nd in the league only behind Trey Hendrickson since the bye. So let's give him his props. He's winning 14.7% of pass rushing. He's been great. He's been fantastic. Jared Verse is going to win Defensive Rookie of the Year, and he's going to be up there for Defensive Player of the Year. Probably won't win it, but he'll be in the conversation. Byron Young is tied for 19th with 16 pressures in that span of those 5 games. Michael Hoecht, and keep this in mind, Michael Hoyt's starting to play more, but he's still not a starter like the other guys. Michael Hoecht is tied for 31st in the NFL in terms of pressures in that span. So the last 5 games, Michael Hoecht has 13 pressures. And let's keep this, let's be honest here. He only has 73 pass rushing snaps. So he has as many pressures as Laiatu Latu has 118 snaps, Ebiketie, who has 125, Carl Granderson, who has 154. Like, he is doing really well, and he's really getting the most bang for your buck at that position. And 7 of those 13 pressures have come in true pass set pressures, which means it's really just one-on-one, and that you're going to have him at a 19.4 win rate. So Michael Hoecht is playing really good ball. I mean, there's not going to be anybody who's only had... So the next guy that's even had close to that, right, would be 79 pressures, Dante Fowler Jr., or 79 snaps, and he has the same amount of pressures. And he's played 6 more snaps than Hoecht. And these are pass rushing snaps. So Hoecht has actually been really good. And as of late, he's really emerged as somebody that you can count on. Keep in mind, he pretty much started last year, and now this year, he's really kind of taken a back seat. But recently, he's been involved a lot more. So when you think about it, Michael Hoecht is tied for 31st, with 13 in that 5-game span. But he only has 73 pass rushing snaps. Everyone above him, 123, 134, 137, 114, 113, 151, 130. There's 90 there from Rashawn Gary. So in, essentially 17 more snaps, he has 3 more pressures. Interesting. That's also tied with Byron Young. The point I'm making here is that Michael Hoecht is giving them this production that, let's just say, the third edge defender on most teams isn't doing. This is impressive. This is really good stuff for the Rams, and I can't stress that enough. I don't think it's talked about nearly enough how important Michael Hoecht has been for this defense. And obviously the special teams. He has 16 pressures this year. He had 43 last year. He had 24 the year prior. As he got more playing time, he got better. This is what we're seeing, a guy that has gotten better. That's what has happened. He's a better player. He has 135 pass rushing snaps this year. He had 382 last year and 204 before that. To put it into perspective, his 78 pass rushing snaps in his rookie year, he only had 2 pressures. Okay? And now under that 78 he's had in the last 5 games, he's got 13. This guy has taken the next step. He is a 27-year-old, and I really think it would be in the Rams' best interest to try and sign him and get him at a good deal, because I don't think a guy like this is getting away. Like, you're not guaranteed to get this guy back. That's what I need people to understand, is that when you're playing at this level, teams notice. They notice what he's doing in his role. The Rams are being very creative in their role, and it's eye-opening. I'm sure plenty of teams see it. But Michael Hoecht is a good player. Make no mistake about it. All the athleticism and all that BS, I mean, he's already proven that wrong. So when you watch the Rams pass rush and you marvel and you ooh and ah, don't forget to give 97 some credit. Guy almost always seems to be around the football. So he might not have the sexiest name. He might not have the big contract. He might not have been drafted by this team, but he's damn sure earning his stripes on this team, I could tell, or his horns on this team. I could tell you that. So those are my thoughts on Michael Hoecht. Just want to let you guys know that, essentially this guy is just really playing at a high level right now. He's had a pressure in every single game since the bye. Before that, he had 3 pressures. So he's had 13 of his 16 post-bye, and that doesn't surprise me. That's right around the time you saw them reevaluate the corner situation when Darius Williams came back and they took Akella Witherspoon off of the practice squad and they started benching Trey White. They really felt like they could run their own secondary the way they wanted to. And then all of a sudden, now they're trying this, this cheetah package, and you're seeing more and more snaps for Michael Hoecht, and you're seeing more and more success. Right now, to have 13 of his 16 pressures over the last 5 games alone is saying something. So let's keep an eye on that, because I just think that, end of the day, this is a very important player, and it's an unsung hero. People will turn a blind eye to a guy like this, and all of a sudden 97 is on your quarterback's neck. So he's going to be big. They got to get after Jalen Hurts this weekend. Michael Hoecht is definitely going to help. I think the Rams need to extend him. I don't know if you even can extend right now, but I believe you can. I really think the Rams need to extend Michael Hoecht. I don't think this is a guy that you just necessarily say, we could replace him. I mean, if he plays hardball, sure. But if you give him $4.5 million or $5 million, which is the same he made his entire career so far, I think he'd take that. I think he'd like it a lot more than a qualifying offer, a tender or whatever. So that's my take on Michael Hoecht. I think number 97 is criminally underrated. I think the things that he is doing is not being talked about. And I think he's a big reason why the defense has taken the step it has, coming off the bye. Again, not the sexiest name in the world, but this guy is an absolute stud. And he's coming for quarterbacks every single weekend. So we'll see if he gets to Jalen Hurts, but that's going to do it for me. If you enjoyed this, please be sure to hit that like button. Be sure to subscribe, of course, as well. Would really appreciate that. Also, just want to let you guys know, and I'm putting it in front of me now so I don't butcher this. I just want to make sure I have it right. If you guys, because I've been asked this, if you guys are trying to send some fan mail my way, I officially now have a P.O. box. Remember we did that on a live stream? Well, I did finalize it earlier today. The P.O. box is P.O. Box 423 Half Moon, New York 12065. I'm going to post it in the description below. Feel free to send me anything. Just make it appropriate, of course. And if I get enough things, I'll probably, because I know a lot of people want to send me stuff. I'm not begging. But if I get enough here, I'm probably going to, do some videos on those unboxings. I'm not really an unboxing guy, but obviously fan mail and stuff is completely different than just a straight up unboxing. So appreciate you guys nonetheless. If you want to check that out, link is in the description as well as everything else. And again, very, very, special shout out to Via. They are great. I love working with them, and I love their products. So if you haven't checked it out, even if you're not into hemp, I wasn't into hemp, and now I like it, and it's really helped me. So maybe it could do something for you. So we'll see how that goes, but definitely JK Bogan 15% off, and check out Via in the description. I'll see you guys in the next video. Later, folks. Just want to let you guys know that we are doing all 22 live breakdowns every single week, Rams football related, over on Kick exclusively. That's kick.com/JKBogan if you want to get in on the action. And if you want a little something more than just football, I also do gaming streams as well. So check that out. Link is in the description, and hope to see you there. Do you love talking about the Rams, the NFL, or just want to be a part of a community? Join my free Discord server today. We're over 800 members. We got 24/7 live chat, a level 3 boosted server, the ability to call into JE Live, playing online games with us on Kick streams, toggleable alerts for when I go live on YouTube or Kick so you don't miss a live stream, and exclusive giveaways. Click the link in the description, the comments section, or the link that comes up in the video to learn more and join today.